Greetings and welcome back to the channel, and we are ready to get underway with some more F1 25 single player career mode. And today we are here in Canada to get ready for round 10 of the World Championship, and hopefully we can have a good race weekend here today. And as you can see on your screens, the race is set to actually have a bit of rain included in it. And here you can see the forecast. It looks like it's going to start dry, then there's going to be a little bit of rain, and potentially towards the end we're going to go back to dry weather running. And last time this happened in Spain, we obviously did really well. So hopefully we can capitalize on similar circumstances if it was to happen. In terms of the championships, we are currently sitting in P7 in the Drivers' Championship, just ahead of Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Yuki Tsunoda. And in the Constructors, we are comfortably sitting in P5 behind Mercedes, but we are quite a bit in front of Williams, so we have a comfortable gap in both championships at the moment. So that is looking very comfy, and we just need to do the best we can do for this specific weekend, and then the rest should come as we have seen before. But let's get into qualifying for round 10 of the championship. And here we go. Looking a bit overcast.
It is time to go qualifying in Canada. A historic track. Looks simple, it's anything but. Welcome to Montreal.
And of course we are just outside the city of Montreal. The circuit Gilles Villeneuve, named after the famous Canadian racing driver who raced in Formula 1, but unfortunately lost his life in a tragic accident back in the day. And his son obviously became the 1997 world champion, Jacques Villeneuve. So yeah, a lot of history here with this specific circuit and its name. It looks a bit overcast right now, but it doesn't look like it's gonna rain. So let's just... oh, I did forget one thing, to check the fuel levels, because that is obviously important. We don't need 6 laps of fuel. We only need about 3. There we go. Track at the moment is 30 degrees Celsius, so it should be okay to go out. And obviously park for me.
All clear the garage, please. Cars ready to leave.
In effect. And as for the circuit, I do have to say it's not like it's in the middle for me. It's not my personal favorite, but it's also not a circuit that I don't know how to drive. And a little bit of back story for those who care. Back when we started SRL, this is actually one of only 2 tracks that I've managed to grab a victory in SRL at, so it does hold a special place in my heart. This specific circuit, season 1 of SRL, managed to take victory here, and that is the last time I managed to win a race in SRL, so that has been quite a few days since. But yeah, it does mean that it does hold a special place in my heart. It has some good memories, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage here today, both for qualifying but also certainly for the race ahead. And as they said on the intro, not a very technical circuit in terms of like many corners as we come through the final chicane to open our lap. But there is still quite a bit of technicality needed to drive this circuit properly. Loads of traction zones, as you can see, not the best exit there. Loads of traction zones around this circuit, and medium speed corners where you are trying to carry a lot of speed through as much as possible. But it is a circuit that most drivers seem to enjoy, and as I said, I don't mind it particularly. I think it's okay. But here we go, the final straight, and then we have 2 corners technically remaining before we have completed our first flying lap here in qualifying. Into the chicane, avoid the wall of champions, and then on the ERS as aggressively as possible. And a 1:10.6. That puts us currently P3, just ahead of Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon. And now we have to let a little bit of traffic through.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
We're going to slow down here. Oh, we're going to be in the way of McLaren. Oosh. I don't think they sustained any damage. But that was a bit clumsy from me, unfortunately. I do apologize. I didn't see him on the mini-map there. And he arrived pretty quickly.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
But it should be good enough to get us through to Q2. Even though we made a small mistake coming out of turn 2 at the start of the lap. And there are obviously smaller improvements that we can find. But overall I think it's okay. Verstappen on a 1:9.7. So he is a little bit faster than us. He is just under a second clear of us. Get this right into the pits. There we go. And it is quite hot here today. Not just out on track, but also in Denmark. So I do have a bit of water here to try and keep me cool throughout the race, hopefully. And with the changeable conditions, I do predict that we are going to maybe see a 2-stop strategy. Going to be the play. Maybe a medium can go to the wet period, and then we'll have to see after that whether or not we have to, if we get back to dry weather running. But so far so good. Let's fast forward a bit. We dropped to P5 at the moment. But honestly, the guys who are in front of us, it is to be expected. Where's Ollie? I'm a little bit interested in that. Has he posted a lap? He has, but he's quite far off the pace for some reason. He's the only one who hasn't dipped into the 1:11s. So he's quite far off, unfortunately. Interesting. But we should be good to go through to Q2 on this lap. So I'm not going to spend any more unnecessary time trying to improve it. And there we go. That is Q1 done. We are safely through to the next round of qualifying and being knocked out. Our teammate all the way down in 20th. And he did not improve his lap time. So the only one to not break into the 1:11s, and together with him being knocked out, is the Alpine of Colapinto, the VCARB of Hadjar, the Williams of Sainz, and Fernando Alonso. So actually some competition getting knocked out here. Alonso has been pretty decent so far this season, and the same with Carlos Sainz. So for them two getting knocked out here in the first round of qualifying is a massive blow to both of their teams, and also in general just for any hopes they would have of scoring good points this round. But both Saubers through to Q2, quite surprisingly. Both Gabby and Nico going through. We're just going to give it a little bit of time here. Let the track rubber in before we get going. I think that should be good. What kind of lap times are we looking at? So low 110s is the current standard from Lando Norris. Alright.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
Let's see what we can do. If the track has fallen a little bit behind on pace, or if it's just a case of most drivers not pushing, if not necessary. That could be the case. We often see that. So, let's see. And do remember, I'm not usually one who likes to plug this, but if you are enjoying...
Okay, we've been pushed down to P13.
Thank you, Mark. If you are enjoying, make sure to like and subscribe, because it really does show the support. And I do also have to give... Oh, as we almost lose the back end there. I do have to say thank you for the support so far. Ever since I went back to streaming more consistently, it's been good to see the support. It's been amazing to feel the support from you guys, so it really does mean a bunch to me. And definitely looking to bring more content in the coming weeks. Obviously we're heading into the summer period now. Plenty of time to both do content but also just do fun things as we open our lap here in Q2. But yeah, I do have to say thank you for the support. It means a bunch, as I said. Much better run there through the first corner. And also the second part of the first sector. Now let's see if we can get this one right. That was quite good. Whoa, a bit of a snap there. Always find that corner a little bit tricky because of how it folds over a crest. Whoa, we almost lose the car there. Whew. So still some mistakes to iron out if we make it through to Q3. Traction not the best there, but it's okay. Now we just have the last chicane to go. Burning up most of the ERS. And the run to the line. It is good enough for P8 at the moment, so the track is not as fast as it was in Q1. But I wasn't expecting that either.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
So the track a little bit slower than it was in Q1. And that was something I did think I would have to factor in. But still some mistakes that could have cost a lot of time on the lap.
Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining.
Some loss of grip that definitely wouldn't have been helping. But we're still inside the top 10 at the moment. So at the moment it's still okay. It's still okay. Stroll and Gasly behind us at the moment. And Russell in front of us. Oh, a little bit fast into the pit lane there, unfortunately. And that is something we do have to be aware of heading into the race. Because this pit lane, it is a bit tricky. Mainly because you brake a little bit later going into the pits than you would if you had to take the last chicane. So we do have to be a little bit aware of that on race day, if either we are just in front of someone or if we are just behind someone. Especially if we are right behind someone, that we don't smash our front wing off. But we are pretty close to George Russell's pace. a 1:10.9.25 from the Briton, and we did a 1:10.9.77. And we are just 3/10, just about 2.5 tenths clear of Lance Stroll at the moment. Gabriel Bortoleto, the man in P11 and on the cutoff spot. And we are 6.5 tenths. No, sorry, 6 tenths clear of Gabby. Ooh, do I gamble on that one? We have 5 minutes to go. I'm going to take my chances on this one, because I don't think they're going to... Oh, Gabby did go out. Oh no. Are we going to get knocked out here? Let's see. No, we do make it through. So the drivers who get knocked out here in Q2 is Liam Lawson. Andrea Kimi Antonelli once again disappointing in that Mercedes. Alex Albon in the second Williams, and then the two kick Saubers of Gabriel Bortoleto and Nico Hulkenberg also getting knocked out here in Q2. But once again, we are through to Q3. Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly together with us, along with the two McLarens, the two Ferraris, the two Red Bulls, and the Mercedes of George Russell. So unlike real life at the moment, George Russell is absolutely showing Kimi Antonelli how things are supposed to be done. Very polar opposite to what is happening currently in real life. And now we have 3 sets of soft tires available here for Q3. That is lovely. That is lovely. So I think let's just get a quick lap in.
Right,
get a
car's
banker.
ready. Let's get it out there.
And then we can gauge and see where the track levels is as we get further into Q3. If it improves or what we have to be aware of. But here we go. Out of the pits, just in front of George Russell. And I do suspect that we are going to be fighting for maybe 7th if we can get a good lap in. If not, I think P8 is a realistic target, in my opinion. With some of the teams that we are competing against, I do think that both Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari, they're definitely going to stance us up, as Russell is really pushing here. We're just going to let him past. I think Russell might have the upper hand on us. We have out-qualified him a couple of times this season. So I wouldn't, you know, completely discourage it. But realistically, I think George should be faster than us, and we are probably going to be fighting Gasly and Stroll for position. That is probably who we are going to be fighting. So, but let's see. I mean, we have surprised before, and we have some new engine components as well. So let's see what we can do as we begin our lap here. Not the best way to start with failing the ERS. Or the DRS, sorry, detection. A little bit of a slip there. So there's more lap time already on the table, not being exploited. Let's just get a banker lap in though. Oh, we take a bit of grass there. Not the best way, but so far so good. Let's burn a little bit of ERS here into the tunnel. And now we just have the hairpin and the final chicane remaining. A little bit slow on the exit there. That was not the best. Stroll at the moment in P4. Let's see what this is going to be into the final corner. And then the blast to the line. Let's see. We are currently P3. We are ahead of George Russell. Okay. Interesting. So we are faster than Russell at the moment.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Alright. That was what I was... that was not what I was expecting, I do have to say. But a good first run. Improvements to be found. And as Max Verstappen goes top of the pile, we are demoted to P7. Gasly also faster than Russell. Alright. So Russell really not having the best of laps here.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
At the beginning of Q3, he's really been disappointing with that lap. And the McLaren there letting us go past. I do think everyone is heading into the pits at the end of this lap. So at the moment, it's looking pretty decent at this point. P7 would be a brilliant qualifying from our standpoint. But let's not get carried away. Let's not. There's still plenty of time for the likes of George Russell, Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly to find the necessary improvements to knock us off that P7 spot. So I'm not going to get my hopes up just yet. Not just yet. But P7, I mean, that is brilliant. That is really good. And at the moment, track is pretty quiet. Let's have a look at the lap times. We are 2 and a bit, yeah, just under 2/10 shy of Yuki Tsunoda. And Charles Leclerc is about 2/10 ahead of us. I don't think that's realistically possible. But I mean, we are not that much faster than Pierre Gasly, only 1/100th of a second faster than him. And George Russell, he's also not too far behind. So everyone so far here at the first shot in Q3, we are almost all 10 drivers within a second of each other. Lance Stroll, the only one who's falling outside.
Okay, that's all the checks complete. We're ready to go.
But we have multiple shots in our barrel ready for this qualifying session. So let's use them while the track is empty. Let's give it another try. Let's not... the track should be rubbered in pretty well right now. So there's improvements to be found. Definitely. So let's see what we can do. Who knows, maybe that P6 spot is not too secure for the Japanese Red Bull driver at the moment. You never know. And we definitely have, I want to say at least 2/10 in it that we could find. Losing traction coming out of corners, always gonna let you bleed lap time down the following straight. So I think we have a little bit to push with, but let's see. Let's see what we can do. Let's open this lap and see what kind of heat we can bring into turn 1. Much better traction there. A little bit more careful this time around. Much better run through that.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
And also a much better run there. And we lose a little bit of time. We are not that much faster. It's very close to what we did in the first run. But here we go. We should gain a lot of time with that traction grab there. Let's see what we can do. We are 1.5 tenths up on our previous best. If we can get a good run. We did get a good run. And here we go. Up towards the line. We are currently P3. Wow. That is a massive run there from us.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
So faster than both McLarens. That is surprising. We gained about 3 tenths. But due to the field being so close together, that has elevated us all the way up to P3, just behind Hamilton. So that is definitely a surprise, to say the least. I mean, if we could qualify third, that would be lovely in a Haas. I know it's a little bit unrealistic, but sometimes there are just qualifying sessions that fall into favor for some drivers. And it seems like it's our time once again. We had it in Monaco, where we managed to grab pole position. And now here in Canada, seems like we could be on course for a pretty decent qualifying, I would say. Stroll is not going out again. Let's see if... I do suspect maybe the McLarens are going to find some lap time. And the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. In terms of George Russell and Yuki Tsunoda, though, I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. But hey, let's wait and see. So far, so good. I think that's how we say it. And we unfortunately cannot make it out for another run, so that second set of, or the third set of soft tires is not going to get used. We are marginally faster than Oscar Piastri, so it's not going to be a massive difference. Let's see. We dropped a few positions
Qualifying
there.
Complete.
Yeah.
All that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
It is so incredibly close. Max Verstappen on pole position by just shy of 2 tenths to Lewis Hamilton. And then in P3 it is Oscar Piastri on a 110 flat out. And then 19 thousandths of a second further back you find Charles Leclerc in the second Ferrari. And then another 2 thousandths of a second we are occupying P5. So it was really, really close here in qualifying between third to fifth. But yeah, we managed to out-qualify one of the McLarens. Lando Norris not really having the best of qualifying sessions here in Q3. And the same for George Russell, who's going to be starting this race from P9. Out-qualified by an Alpine. Wow. That one is going to sting a little bit, I think, on poor Russell's self-esteem. I think that one is going to hurt a little bit. But hey, the Mercedes has not been the absolute rocket ship that we have seen in the past, and we are currently seeing in real life. So, I mean, am I surprised? Yeah, a little bit, but at the same time, not really. But here we go. Oh, wow. This race is going to be exciting with dry conditions, presumably at the start, and then the midway of the race is going to probably be run maybe intermediates, maybe full wets. It's a little bit difficult to say. And then potentially we're going to have some dry running towards the end. So a race that could really spice things up. But 35 laps around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's going to be exciting to see what kind of chaos we can cause. As I said, we did cause a lot of chaos in Spain when it was changeable conditions. We went from very far outside the top 10 to actually at some point running in the podium positions, but due to tire wear and a little bit of a clumsy mistake from myself, we dropped all the way down to P7 towards the end of the Grand Prix. The tires didn't quite hold up to the challenge, but hopefully that can happen today. But we are just waiting. Here we go. We are ready. And oh yeah, it looks gloomy. That is for sure.
Lights Out in Canada is approaching at a venue where the island was built for the 1967 World's Fair. The world has gathered once again. Welcome to the Canadian Grand Prix.
And 23 degrees in the air. About the same in real life here.
Peaking at around 190 miles per hour. 2 DRS zones, 14 turns, tight corners everywhere you look, and a very narrow track.
And you can see a pretty flat track, relatively speaking.
So with the race not far away from starting...
But let's see if there's any penalties that has to be applied. I doubt it, though. But
Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Piastri, Leclerc, Iceman, and Norris. Tsunoda, Gasly, Russell, and Lance Stroll. Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Alex Albon, and Antonelli. Lawson, Alonso, Carlos Sainz, and Isaac Hadjar. Colapinto and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
All right.
Well, what a race we have in prospect. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Joining me is Naomi Schiff. Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Definitely. All right.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
And the team, which I was thinking, we're starting on the hard tires. I think that might be a good strategy call, to be honest. I think carrying this much fuel is gonna... That's not really worth it. I think 35, that should be around. We haven't really been using a lot of fuel in the races. Could be different with Canada, you never know. But yeah, the team wants us to start on the hard tires. They predict that we can go pretty much until we presumably have to switch over to what I can only imagine will be a intermediate tire. And then later on we'll see what the strategy requires from us. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to go off the intermediates at some point. It looks like it's going to stay at around that intermediate level of rain. And this obviously just means that we have to be on our best behavior here at the race start. No damage on the front wing or otherwise. And we're starting on what will become the outside for turn 1. Or the inside, sorry, for turn 1. Outside for turn 2. Which I do have to say, here at Canada, I don't really have a preference on which side of the grid to start on. There are definitely tracks where I would prefer to be starting at a specific, on the specific side.
Okay, we don't think we're far away from rain now. I'll keep you updated as conditions change.
And Mark already quite aggressively predicting that there's going to be rain. And third all the way through to 7th, we are starting on the hard tires. So everyone expected to try and take the tires all the way to the rain period. That should be doable if the rain starts to fall pretty quickly. And we'll just have to be on our best behavior. It looks like it's going to start raining around maybe lap 10. So we also have to protect the tires until then. We can't dry them too hard, which obviously has been our Achilles this season so far, the tire wear. And no difference for this race. It was one of the practice programs that we had to try and do the best we could with. Warming up the tires here. Let's get a good angle into turn 1.
Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
But here we go. Grid forming up.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
And the rain has already started to fall. Oh dear. The 5 red lights are out and we are away, and we get a brilliant start compared to the drivers around us. We are on the inside of Lando Norris here, heading into turn 1. Swings to the outside. Whoa, big slide. Well, it's Piastri, sorry, it's not Norris. Piastri still on that inside, but we have taken a great step here at the beginning of the race. A brilliant start. But the rain might start falling quicker than we expected, because I already did see some droplets when we were stationary on the grid ready for the race start. So we have to be careful. We do have to be careful. But a really good start to this Grand Prix. The best we could have hoped for. We gained 2 positions. And now we are running in clean air, which is very important. That is usually where we do our best. Where we perform our best. So, yeah.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available.
Oh, a little bit deep into turn 2. The fuel, I mean, it's going to be under control once we get to the end. We're not going to have to do a lot of lifting and coasting to get the fuel into the green numbers. And at the moment we're still under pressure from Piastri. And he tried down the inside there. Just going to start lifting and coasting a little bit here. Let's see what Mark has to say about the weather.
Okay, the forecast suggests this rain's going to keep getting stronger for at least the next 15 minutes. Okay,
Alrighty.
dries seem like the best tyre for now.
And there goes Piastri. Ooh, Oscar, what are you doing, man? He outbrakes himself and makes a complete mess of that chicane. That was very clumsy from him. And the good thing about the first 2 corners, you can lift and coast quite a bit into those turns. Yeah, I don't know what Oscar was doing there into the last chicane, but that was some clumsy driving from the Australian. And you can see the rain has really started to come down now. We might even have been better off with...
Okay, I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being.
Alrighty, we might have been good for mediums, you know, at the race start. Probably wouldn't have been too much of a problem. We're gonna have to lift and coast a little bit more. Fuel consumption is a little bit higher than I expected, and that's not a good thing.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine.
Oh.
Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Oh no. The engine now potentially starting to give us some trouble. That's not what you want to hear on a track like Canada, where engine power is pretty much alpha and omega. Some heavy lifting and coasting. Tyres are starting to lose a little bit of that edge, losing a little bit of grip. That could just be because we are getting to intermediate tyres soon. Whoa. And yeah, we're definitely losing a little bit of grip.
Okay, conditions are going to keep deteriorating for 10 minutes at least. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
I might have to disagree there, Mark. Let's put the tyre selector on intermediates for when we do eventually have to box. What is the tyre situation looking like? Tyres are cooling
At least
down.
another 10 minutes until this rain evens out. Stay alert out there.
Oh, it's right around that area where I probably should pit. It would be faster to go onto the intermediates. Maybe. But it's so close.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 3.2 seconds.
Oh, the car's sliding a whole bunch. I think intermediates might be better off right now.
The weather's turning. We think it's time to box now.
Oh, that was the wrong one.
Copy.
Yeah, we're going on to the intermediate tyres on this lap.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
Because we're starting to slide around a little bit here. Really difficult to get any grip on these hard tyres. We could have done with a medium tyre. We could have gotten to this point on a medium tyre. Fuel situation still a little bit interesting. Whoosh.
The tyre situation's pretty touch and go right now. We think the slicks may still be quicker, but it's very close, and you're going to struggle to keep them in the temperature window. The inters are ready for whenever you need them.
We're going on to intermediate tyres at the end of this lap. And we have to be careful heading into the pits.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap. Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
We've pulled a gap to Piastri. I don't know if he might have some damage or what's happening. But Hamilton coming into the pits. And we are well under the speed limit there. Taking no chances. And Norris has to continue for another lap. Because his teammate is coming into the pits.
Right, let's go. Come on. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
We just lose out to Hamilton.
Ollie's in the pits. Ollie in the pits now. Okay, one stop to go. Just one stop left in this strategy.
We were so close to jumping Hamilton in the pit sequence because he got held up by some of the other drivers coming into the pits. That was super close. Oh, that's not smart. They may have grooves, but they're definitely not off-road tires. As we take a little bit of grass. Never nice.
Okay, mate. Hamilton's ahead of you. We don't want to let this hold us up too long, so do your best to get past and get on with the race.
Sure thing. I'll do my very best. Whoa. And on lap 6, we head over to the intermediate tyres. And now it's a question of, can we utilize them? You can see the slicks really not paying anything here for Gabriel Bortoleto.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
And we might still be running in that P3 spot. Oh, I do have to remember this is not a slick tyre. I keep forgetting it. I'm making silly mistakes here.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 14.6 seconds.
And for the intermediates, they always get better once you've driven around 2 or 3 laps on them, because then they start to rubber in a little bit. Right now they're still very, very loose on grip. I don't know how else to explain it. But
okay, no
hopefully,
issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Hopefully they start to rubber in soon. That would be lovely. And I think that target of catching Hamilton, I think that's That's wishful thinking from Mark. I don't think that is possible. And the fuel situation is under control right now, so no problems on that front either.
Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Alright, that was very short and simple from Mark. What about the vehicle
Okay,
condition?
we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. Systems all looking good. Head down.
Alrighty. So a little bit of component wear on the internal combustion engine. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. At least the rain is going to help us in that regard, because it's really only going to be heading down the back straight and the start-finish straight that we're going to be suffering on that front. And we are not even 1/3 of the way into this race, and we've already had plenty of curveballs thrown our way. Hamilton slowly but surely pulling away, I think. Looks like he's a little bit faster than us. Let's try and save up some ERS on the upcoming lap. Maybe we can run a little bit of hot lap.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.7 seconds.
Yep, I am doing my best. It's a little bit difficult to monitor that gap while being down on power and trying to keep up with the Ferrari, but at the moment it's at 3 seconds the gap. I don't think we're catching him though. Let's see if we go into hot lap what that does. Just do a couple of laps in this mode, see if it can help us stabilize anything. In terms of tire wear, it's looking okay at the moment.
These conditions are only getting worse. Watch out for standing water.
Okay. Yeah. We need to use the ERS as intended and not just in hot lap mode. Oh, whoa! Got thrown off by my MFD there. There was a goal that was completed and it ticked in. Tires fading a little bit. It feels like, whoa, a little bit deep there. The rear tires especially are fading quite heavily. Oh, and we simply don't have... We are running a dry setup, which I think it shows. We're having a little bit of trouble.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 4.4 seconds.
We're having a little bit of trouble getting into corners at the moment. See if we can settle it down and maybe pull it a little bit back.
Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now. That wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but listen, don't worry about it. It's a long way to go, so let's just focus until the end.
Yep, no problem, Mark. does also have to be said, I'm not the best wet weather driver, so that definitely hampers our chances, I think.
The car ahead is a second a lap faster than you.
Yeah, and we're also suffering from a little bit of engine issues, so it automatically becomes a little bit more difficult on a track like Gilles Villeneuve or Montreal, as it's just referred to in like most of the time.
And we're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Alrighty, that's good. At the moment, keeping Oscar at a decent distance. I'm quite happy with it as it is right now. Still turn 1, not flawless execution. At the moment, we are struggling a little bit for tyre wear, I think. But at the moment, we're still keeping in front of the likes of Piastri and Tsunoda, so it's fine. At the moment, it's still fine. But I do think Piastri is going to start to pressure us very soon. In terms of fuel, it's under control at the moment. Would like it to go a little bit in the other direction. We can maybe do a little bit of lifting and coasting, so that we have a little bit in reserve if we go back to dry tires at the end of the race. That would probably be smart. Oh, very wide there into turn 1. Oh, the car doesn't turn. That was a little bit unfortunate. We touched the wall. Oh my days. Are we looking at a wet tire at the moment, maybe? Has it started raining too much? Interesting. Because it definitely feels like the intermediates are not quite up to scratch.
Seeing a lot of tyre deg now. We've got a new strategy if you want to take a look at it.
Oh, and we have a new strategy suggestion from the pit wall. We'll take a quick look at that once we get out of this hairpin.
Confirmed.
Sure. I didn't quite see what it was, to be honest. But yeah, they are seeing a lot of tyre wear. Those make sense. We're running a dry setup. It usually wears the wet weather tyres a little bit harder.
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 6.0 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind, 17.1 seconds.
I mean, at the moment we're still keeping Piastri and the rest of the gang behind us. So I'm not too fussed about, you know, how things are going at the moment. We might not have a lot of pace, but that's
Weather's
just
changing now.
things.
You might want to review our strategy.
Oh, strategy suggestion.
Got that confirmed.
Yeah, I was thinking a wet weather tire wouldn't be a stupid call at this time. Seems like we could use a wet weather tire.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Let's do that. I think that might be a smart idea. Good call from the pit wall. because grip is really low at the moment. Really, really low. Let's burn off some of this ERS.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Into the pits. We hit that pit entry pretty decently, I would say. 78 kph. Into the pits for the wet tyres.
Okay, off we go. Back into the race. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Good stop there from the boys.
Right, Ollie's coming in for his stop. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
As you wish, Mark. We should have stopped maybe a lap ago. We could maybe have undercut Hamilton, but you never know. You can always be very smart in hindsight. Now we just need to generate a lot of heat in these tyres.
Okay, mate. Piastri's behind you now.
Whoa.
We want to keep them behind, please. It's critical for our race.
Yeah, but please stop talking in the corners, mate. It's really annoying when you're on cold tyres and the engineer starts yapping. Oh, a little bit deep there. Antonelli yet to pit onto a wet set of tyres.
So the rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while. Be careful.
So very changeable conditions here in Montreal. Very exciting, I do have to say. Definitely unlike anything we've had so far. Closest comparison would probably be Spain. And even that wasn't this changeable. But we're lacking a little bit of power. I can feel it down the straight. How Piastri is closing up to us in the fast moving sections, and also we're running a little bit too much front wing as a compensation, maybe, or maybe more than what would have been ideal. So we're even taking more off our performance in a straight line.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 8.2 seconds.
And Hamilton has opened up a gap. Verstappen not really being challenged here today. And at the moment, we are keeping a couple of drivers behind us. I don't know what happened to Piastri there. Is he having some trouble with the car, maybe?
The gap to the car ahead is increasing by a few tenths per lap. Get your head down.
Took a patch of grass there with me. That was not ideal.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 5 tenths a lap.
Not quite, because they're then closing back up again through especially the first sector here, because don't really have the grip. Really difficult conditions at the moment, and I'm sweating like crazy at the moment. It is so hot in my room.
Weather's changing now. We're going to have to change strategy, so it's time to box.
What?
Okay, copy that.
They want me over on the intermediates already. Wow. I don't think that's correct, though. Still think it's too wet for Inters.
Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Tyres are still good. I think we're going another lap. I don't think that's correct. Hamilton and the rest of the gang boxing. Taking a gamble here. I know it is a gamble, but it is what it is. And Verstappen clears us before we even get...
We're seeing some good times set by drivers on intermediates. Box for Inters.
I don't agree.
Ollie's in the pits. Ollie in the pits now.
I might have made a mistake with this strategy call, but it feels too wet for intermediates at the moment. What? Yeah, the tires are good. We're not overheating. That usually tells the story of whether you are on the wrong tire set. We are so good at the moment. But I'll do as they wish. Whoa, we touch a bit of grass there. We're losing time to... Yeah, we are losing time to Piastri. We might be about to lose something here. I might have done the wrong thing.
Okay, don't worry about that
spot
target for
on.
now. We can work on a new objective later.
This feels wrong, but I'll do as the team says.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go. That was a fantastic stop. Faster than we were expecting.
Thank you. There goes Piastri.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
But we have the straighter line into the first two turns. So we just managed to cover off the Australian. We didn't really lose anything, honestly. We lost a little bit of time to Hamilton, maybe 2 seconds, so it might have been the right call to come in when they did. But really difficult conditions at the moment. At the moment it's really difficult to... We have to be on our best behavior. But here we go. We're still in front of Piastri, just by a second, just about. So, no problems just yet. Let's see if we can use these tires a little bit. I'm sweating like crazy at the moment. It is so warm in my room right now. It's probably close to 30 degrees at the moment Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit for those who use that specific way of gauging temperature. But 30 degrees probably in my room at the moment in Celsius. It's really, really heating up at the moment. And we have 15 laps to go come the end of this one. I think we've driven a pretty good race so far. No major mistakes. I would say we've done everything asked of us so far. Both from the other drivers, but also from the team. So I think we can be...
Keep managing your tyres, manage your tyres.
I think we can be pretty happy with what we've done so far. Oh, a little bit deep there. And the rain all of a sudden has decided to stop. So, ooh, big slide. But yeah, it's probably not long out before we start seeing some slicks.
Okay, mate, we need to save up some ERS, so let's focus on charging it up, please.
How much? 66. No problem. Heading into the braking zones, we'll just throw it into none. And then into medium here.
Okay, gap ahead, 11.1 seconds.
Whew. Lap 21 done. We survive another lap, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate.
Thank you. Usually the ERS targets are not that difficult to complete, so that's quite nice. We're still keeping Piastri at bay at the moment. It's going well so far. We found our rhythm. We haven't lost too much time to Hamilton.
Overtake and burn off some of this energy.
Only lost about 1.5 seconds over the course of the last 3 laps, or ever since we came out of the pits. So not too bad at the moment. We're just settling down, we're just getting into the groove.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 22.3 seconds.
Alright, so we're opening up a gap to Ollie. Behind. That's fine. That is good to hear. We're not far away, I think, from the slicks becoming a viable option.
The track's drying, but it's going to take a while to clear the standing water offline. Don't start thinking about slicks just yet.
Alright, well, Mark thinks the same. Oh, we touched a wall there. That was a little bit scary. But yeah, as Mark said, it's not ready for slicks just yet. Still think there's going to be at least 5 laps in it. So, I mean, at the moment, it's fine. We can manage. We can manage, that is for sure. Piastri starting to pick up the pace a little bit on that previous lap. Closed up to us a little bit, but nothing like really serious. So that's fine. And the majority of this race has obviously been run on the wet tires. If I'd known that, I probably would have opted for a wet setup instead of a dry. But again, hindsight is a wonderful tool to make you smarter. Obviously didn't know that at the beginning of this one, so how was I gonna predict that one? We've stabilized the gap to Hamilton now, sitting at around 11 to 11.5 seconds at the moment. The track is starting to come our way, so that is good.
We're catching the car ahead, well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
Of course, Mark. Wouldn't want it any other way. I doubt we might have to use the slicks, but things could still change. There's plenty of laps to go. I'm starting to sweat again. Fuel looking good, so
and gap
no
to the car in
problems there.
front, 10.8 seconds.
So no problems on that front. It's good to see. Whew. We are sweating away now. Starting to post some decent laps. At the moment, Verstappen still has the fastest lap, as to be expected. But I think we are on pace with Hamilton at the moment, or just a little bit slower maybe. It's a little difficult to say. Also difficult to say is when the slicks becomes an option that could be usable. That is going to be interesting to monitor. Bit of a slide there, but we're doing good. We're doing good. Laps are ticking down, and that falls into our favor. We are on lap 26 out of 35, so we have 9 laps to go. And the pace is starting to look decent. Actually, compared to the drivers around us. We've opened up a small gap to Piastri, and we are underneath the 10-second gap to Hamilton.
Gap to your teammate behind, 27.1 seconds.
I think we might genuinely be the faster driver out on track right now, but I'm not too sure. Always difficult to gauge. Yeah, the tyre wear is also starting to set in ever so slightly. But at the moment it's just management. Luckily we haven't heard more from Mark regarding the engine issues, so that is always a good sign when those things do not get mentioned.
The tyre situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now.
Alrighty, so Mark and the team starting to look at options of potentially moving to the slicks soon, but at the moment it's definitely not ready yet, so we still have to wait a couple of laps. I think maybe when we get to lap 30 it's going to be dry enough. We're definitely going to have to be quick with it. And the good thing also, if it is a very late call, we do have a soft tyre left over from qualifying that we could potentially use here in the race as a backup plan if we need a quick dash towards the end. Overdriving the car a little bit now. Need to find the groove again. Just start pumping away. A little bit early on the brakes there for the hairpin. But I mean, a podium would be really good for us once again. Changeable conditions seems to be our forte. And seems like we could be on course to cause an upset once again. Oh, a bit of grass there, that's a slide. Whoa, big drift. We'll lose a little bit of time there. That's not ideal.
The weather's turning, we think it's time to box now.
Oh, Mark with the strategy call.
Understood, copy that.
Medium tyre. Yeah, I think this far out from
Okay,
the
so gap to
end.
the car ahead, 10.5 seconds.
And we are doing whatever Hamilton and Verstappen in front of us are doing. Because we don't want to get caught by... I mean, the slicks are... The deficit between those tyres to the wet tyre compounds is significantly greater than between the intermediates and the wets.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good.
Alrighty. So they've been happy with our tyre wear all the way through. That is good. And Verstappen is pitting, so we are going to do the same. So is Hamilton. Alright, we're coming into the pits at the end of this lap then, to strap on a set of medium tyres to go to the end of this race. And here we go. Another great stop would be appreciated.
Okay, go, go, go.
There we go.
Perfect job from you
Perfect.
and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
Now we just need to be wary of the lack of grip potentially. It is still raining, so we're going to be on very careful.
Right, Ollie's coming in for his stop.
Oh, it's still very wet. We could maybe have gone one more lap without any trouble. Oh my days.
Okay, mate, we've got more fuel in hand than we need, so let's push, push, and use it all up.
Don't worry. We will definitely do so. Yeah, it's right around the period where you would switch over to some dry tires. It's a little bit too wet still for my liking, but we're going to make it work. Piastri, Hamilton and Verstappen
Other
have
teams
gone
are
for the
fitting
hards.
intermediate tyres. It might be worth considering changing yours too.
Nope. Mark, here is not. Hamilton, Verstappen, Piastri, they've all gone for hards. Interesting. DRS has been enabled. That is usually the indicator that it's time to go over to the slicks. That was a little bit aggressive on the curbs there. A little bit sluggish from me.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. Okay, so
course.
we're leading our teammate by 28.7 seconds.
Grip levels are still a little bit on the nose. It's not quite where you can push full out, but it's right around. It's not going to take more than 2 laps, I think, before we can start pushing properly. But I mean, we have a chance at Hamilton. He's on hard tires. They're going to take longer to heat up. Too much curb there. We're pulling away from Piastri. So his tires are definitely going to take longer to heat up. We're going to have to use that to our advantage. Let's see what we can do. But I'm not going to push too much that we end up binning it into the wall. That would be ridiculous and stupid and all other things. So if it's not to be, we're just going to take home this P3, and that's going to be more than enough for us here at Haas. That was much more than I had dared hope for going into this race. Whoa, and it's still too wet to push properly.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 8.4 seconds.
Working on it, Mark. Working on it. I don't think we're going to catch Hamilton. He needs to have an engine failure if we want any chances of potentially taking another step up on the podium. And I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. So we're going to have to settle for P3. But I mean, driving a Haas, that is more than enough in my book.
Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
Thank you. Oh, cutting that corner a little bit too tight there. The track is now fully dry, so we can start pushing. And we are gapping Piastri once again. Whoa. Pushing a little too hard there. Hamilton is starting to stretch that gap once again. Piastri as well, closing in on us. So we've really profited off our good start, and then the changeable conditions meant that no one really got into a good rhythm before the weather started changing again, and they had to swap over to a different compound. And that has really saved our bacon here today, because I don't think if the race had stayed dry, oh my days, as we almost spin it, I don't think if the race had stayed dry that we would have finished on the podium.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by.
Because I definitely do think that Hamilton, Piastri, Tsunoda, Leclerc, they're all faster than me. Potentially also George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. We are pushing a little too much here. We are trying to extract more from the car than what is realistically possible. And Max Verstappen with the fastest lap, going absolutely crazy out in front as he begins the final lap for himself and for us. That moment begins now as we cross the start-finish line in a moment. And that means onto the final lap of this Grand Prix. Whoa, the car is behaving very weird at the moment. Really oversteering at the moment, but that's also okay. Let's see if we can post a personal best here on the last lap of the race. The car is very lively, that is for sure. But that all doesn't matter right now. Verstappen wins here in Montreal, takes a very commanding victory here today. Hamilton comes home to finish P2 in his Ferrari, and for the second time this season we finish on the podium.
Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
Isaac Hadjar, driver of the day. He must have had a really good race then.
He has left
Oh, wow.
the entire field behind once more. It's victory for Max Verstappen.
But Verstappen does it once again,
There
as
was
he's done
never a
so
moment
many
of doubt
times.
Today. You could tell that they completely had it under control, and that is a sign of greatness.
There we are, third position. What a race. 15 points right into the bank account with
Our
this one.
contenders at the front, making their way onto the podium to celebrate with the team and the crowd. Well, we've seen this one before. Max Verstappen on the top step once again.
And as I said, another podium this season. We obviously won the Monaco Grand Prix quite surprisingly. And now here in Canada, we take another podium. We were very close in Spain to taking a podium, but a small driver error ended up costing quite dearly. But here today we've been completely flawless in our driving, and that has rewarded us.
Who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
And that brilliant start at the beginning of the race really ended up being what resulted in this beautiful podium. And you can see also the lap times in inside the top 10. I think the only one who is... no, even Antonelli was faster than us on his fastest lap. So we definitely benefited from the fact that the weather was constantly changing and no one really could get a rhythm going before they had to swap onto a completely new tire. That really did help us. It also seemed like it helped Ollie quite a bit. I don't know why Isaac Hadjar got driver of the day. He started 18th and finished 17th. Meanwhile, our teammate, Behrman, started 20th and finished 13th. So, I've no idea how he got driver of the day. You could also vouch for Antonelli. You could vouch for, I think, Lance Stroll as well. I mean, I would put myself in there as well, starting 5th and finishing on the podium. But, I mean, that is what happens sometimes. It is just that. Unfortunate. But, there we go. That is the Canadian Grand Prix done and dusted. And what a result, both for ourselves in the Drivers' Championship, but definitely also for the team in the Constructors' Championship. And we get a boost in manufacturing expertise, it seems. So that is good. We are level 2 in that area. That is really good. But what a race that was. Quite a hot one. And we do get an update. Let's see if we get another update. Let's see here. R&D. There was a couple of R&D things that didn't quite come through as expected. There we go. And we do have one that failed. Ollie is looking to do that one, but I think we'll just do that one. I think that's okay. Is there anything here? No, still locked. Also still locked. So we are developing almost everything that we can. Oh, there is... oh, we don't have enough just yet. But we should have enough. Hopefully this one goes through. Crossing my fingers. Yes, there we go. We get our weekly
mate,
resources.
I'm pleased to say that our new parts have come through without any issue, so they'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
And we could get an aerodynamic upgrade on the Halo, and that is going to come just in time if it goes through. It only has a 10% failure chance, so should come through. We should receive that just before the Belgian Grand Prix, so that should be good. And if it goes through, that should propel us potentially past Aston Martin in aerodynamics. So, but at the moment we have quite a few. As you can see, myself developing 3 major updates, actually, for the chassis, for durability, and for the aerodynamics. And for Ollie, he is currently working away on the durability as well, with a minor and a major update. So hopefully that goes through. And look at this. It is so beautiful. We are sitting comfortably in 7th in the Drivers' Championship. We're sitting 5th in the Constructors' Championship, with quite a distance down to Williams. At the moment it is 29 points. So we are sitting very comfortably at the moment, and we are doing what is necessary in our debut season. Whew. But what a race that was. Another podium. I'm definitely happy with that one. And we've been performing pretty well in the last 3 races. Let's actually take a quick look at that, because I'm pretty sure we've had a good run of form here ever since we came to Europe. Yeah, Imola wasn't the best. We had some tyre degradation issues, but it seems like we've gotten on top of those things. And then we are currently on a run of a victory in Monaco, 7th place, which could potentially have been another podium in Spain. And now we get 3rd place in Canada. So a good run of form here in the mid part as we go to Europe. And hopefully we can keep that string of form going heading to Austria. And then it is Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. And then my favorite track in Europe, and probably on the calendar as well, the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. So very much looking forward to the next upcoming rounds. And just so we are clear on things, once again, we are running 107% AI. Nothing has changed. But just so we are clear that I'm not cheating by lowering the AI difficulty just before a race weekend. So, but yeah, that does it for round 10 of the championship. I'm not drowning in sweat, but I'm definitely running a little bit hot, so probably need to go cool down somewhere. But hopefully you've all enjoyed today's race and today's live stream. And if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you don't want to miss whenever I go live once again, make sure to also turn on the notifications. That way you will receive notifications. I know it's crazy. It's a marvel. Anyway, I think we're going to leave it there. I wish everyone who's been watching a very good day and very blessed day. And until we see each other again, have a good one.